Hi, this is Andy Scott with North Shore Apartments and Condos. I'm walking into 1570 Oak, number 601. This is a very big 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's a great layout. It's got a lot of separation of space. As we walk in, we're looking at this portion of the living room. Past the living room is a bedroom suite with a bathroom and a linen closet. If we look to our left, we see the second bedroom, which also has a bathroom and a couple of closets. As we walk in, we'll come back to this big closet right here, but let's just show you the living room real quick. It's a nice big space, probably 15 or more feet long. The windows are facing east. That's a big radiator on the left. You can see that it's carpeted. The carpet is like brand new, I think. Lots of natural light. Very clean, like I say, 15 or more feet long by maybe 13 feet across, 12 and a half feet across. Very big living room, nice space. We're on the 6th floor, so we get a lot of natural light. We're way off this street. This is Oak over here. And although there is some traffic on Davis nearby, you can't hear a thing up here. As I said, we'll go back and visit that big closet on the way to the second bedroom. But for now, we'll turn to our left and look at the dining area. I think this is about an 8x6 dining area. Easily put a 4-person table. You can see it has a ceiling light fixture with a ceiling fan. Same view where you're looking east. There's another radiator, so you get lots of heat. As we walk into the dining area, we'll take a look at the kitchen. The kitchen has lots of cabinets. It's a smaller kitchen, but it has lots of cabinets. A full-size fridge. It looks like a pretty full-size stove, too, which I'll show you in just a second. I'll walk right into the kitchen for a second. You see we have the new laminated floors, which are really nice. And turn around and just show you again the dining area. There's the living room. We come across, and there is the dining area space. And it may even be bigger than 8x6, 8x7 or something. It's a nice big space. Get a big table in there. Okay, so if we look at the kitchen, we almost have to look at it one side and the other. We see the cabinets, the top cabinets, lots of storage, a little bit of counter space, but in fact, pretty good counter space. Stainless steel sink, hose attachment for dishes. Then we have a couple of drawers and some more cabinet space underneath. If I go to the other side, we see smaller cabinets up above, a stove hood, full-size fridge, and a full-size stove, which is really nice. That looks newer. So let's start with the fridge. Got the freezer on top. The fridge is probably about 5 feet 8 inches high. Freezer on top, 2 shelves to the right. Underneath, we have the refrigerator with a cold cut drawer, a couple of crisper drawers, and on the right we have shelves and a butter dish. Very clean, looks like new. It's not new, but it looks like new. Stove is kind of the same way. Whoops. 4-burner stove, full-size oven, which is nice and clean. It's just a full-size stove, I guess. There's the stove hood, there's a filter and light. You can see the filter's been changed out, so that's nice and clean. The light, there's also a fan. I should have said that too. You can hear the fan, so that will suck up a lot of the smoke. The storage up top is smaller. It's about 1 square foot on each side, and we've got 4 of those. We'll close that up. We'll come around on the other side and show you the counter space, which is significant. It's not huge, but it's significant. You have an outlet at that end. Nice stainless steel sink with a hose attachment. Water pressure in this building is outstanding. That is just the hot water. And you can see it's coming out beautifully. Drains really well. The cabinet space underneath is dry and can be used for storage. And again, it's still draining beautifully. And a good cabinet space. And the upper cabinets are like your standard 2-foot cabinets with 3 shelves. These shelves are probably 11 to 12 inches deep, maybe 11 and a half. And we've got 4 of those cabinets, so I'll open these just to show you real quick that they're the same. And there you see the outlet. And underneath, we have a couple of drawers. Oh, how about that? Light bulbs and plumbing fixtures. But only if you apply it today. So the drawers are nice to have. And then the lower cabinets are very deep, so you can put pots, pans, Keurigs, small appliances. You really have a lot of storage. So it's a smaller kitchen, but it's well equipped with a lot of cabinet space, some good counter space, stainless steel sink, full-size stove, stove hood, and full-size fridge, as well as new floors. So again, from the kitchen, we look out into the dining area facing east. We'll walk through the dining area and we'll get another vantage point of the living area, which is a big room. So lots of room. This building is deadly quiet. The carpet is on concrete, which is really nice. Once again, we're not looking at the big closet. We are looking at the front door. We'll come back and get that closet. But first, we're going to go through what I call a bedroom suite. I call it a suite because you can actually close this door and separate this area from the rest of the apartment. We get our first look at the bedroom. We have this area here, and we see just a sliver of a bathroom in the back. Before we go into either the bedroom or the bath, we'll take a look at the linen closet, which is actually very deep. It's probably 3+ feet deep and 2 feet wide, which lots of shelves. Before we go in the bedroom, we'll just take care of the bath real quick. You can see the vintage tiles. The window is facing west, and it's a newer window, so it opens easily. Have a nice sink with cabinet area below. As we come in, we see newer tile around the shower area. The shower is a little bit lower. The tub is super clean, but it's a handheld wand. So if you needed to make it higher, you could adjust this part here, or you could just take it off and use the wand. Water pressure, like I said, is awesome. So you just turn on here. Looks like it's been a while since it's been turned on, but it's going good now. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but I'm sure you can hear it. It's really good water pressure, and it's draining beautifully. So there's the hot water. The sink, we have a medicine cabinet and a light above the medicine cabinet, which is really nice. It's a light bathroom anyway, so there's the medicine cabinet. We have an outlet next to the medicine cabinet. Nice sink, again, we turn on the hot water and see great pressure underneath. It's actually big space, so it's good storage space, nice and dry, and can be used completely. There we have beautiful drainage. The west-facing window, what's nice about a newer window is it's easy to open, so you can dry out the bathroom, which is critical. Standard vintage commode. Whoops-a-daisy, there we go. Standard vintage commode, nice and clean. I'll sort of back out, and you have a little radiator in the back to keep it warm. I'll back out so we can get another look. And you can see it's actually a pretty big room. There's the medicine cabinet, the sink with the cabinet underneath. You just see a little bit of the commode. Nice big shower area, shower wand, and a nice clean tub. It's a nice bathroom. We come out, we look at that little area, and if we turn to our right, we would see the linen closet all the way to the front door. But before we go out that way, we'll show a big bedroom. Now you could put a king-size bed in this room. Not many people do. Mostly I see queens, but this is a big room. Nice ceiling fan. The windows are facing east. It's back out. We're looking back out onto Oak near Davis here. Shows you the street a little bit better, but it's just it's deadly quiet up here. And if we look back from the windows, we see the bedroom closet and the door that would separate what I call the bedroom suite. And there's the big radiator to keep everything nice and warm. This room has got to be, it's rectangular, but it's close to square, so it's got to be 12 by 11, something, 12 and a half by 11, something like that. We've got some shelves for shoes, a hanging bar and some hooks, a second hanging bar, and a little shelf on the side. So this closet area is probably 3.5 feet deep by close to 3 feet wide. It's a big closet. You can put a lot in there. And from the closet, we'll take one more look at the bedroom, which is a nice big room, lots of natural light, and a ceiling fan. So we'll come out of the bedroom, the linen closet, the bath, the living room, the dining area, and across from the dining area is the kitchen. And as we walk towards the front door, as though we were exiting, we're not exiting, we see this big closet. So this is a nice big closet in the living room with shelves, hooks, more shelves. So you could put a lot of stuff in here. And it's got to be, you know, from the longest part to the longest part, it's got to be 6 or 7 feet across. To this shorter part here, it's got to be at least 5 feet and at least 2 feet across, probably more. And there is a hanging bar for coats. So that's a really nice closet. Whoops. Now we'll go towards the front door, but instead of going to the front door, like I said, we'll go to the second bedroom. Now the second bedroom was actually a small apartment all its own. So you see it has its own bath. It actually has 2 closets. The windows are facing north, but you get enormous natural light. Actually a good view. It's a pretty room. So there's the front door. Now that door is now sealed, but this was its own bedroom once, and it was put together with a 1-bedroom to make a really nice 2-bedroom with lots of separation of space. Ceiling fan. We'll get to the commode in just a second, but you've got a nice big closet here that's at least 8 feet across and at least 2 feet wide. It's got shelves and a hanging bar and shelves and a hanging bar. So it's a big closet and would be a big bedroom closet if it were the only closet. However, we've got a second closet across the way, which is another big closet. We have shelves in front of us, shelves to the right, or a shelf to the right, and it's probably, close to 5 feet long, and this is certainly more than 2 feet across, probably 32 inches across. So another big closet area. So really great storage. This bedroom is a little bit more narrow. It's longer and more narrow. I think it's like 13 feet long by about 10 feet wide, maybe a little less. But it is big, and it has, but it wouldn't do a king-size bed so easily. But it does have great closet space. So here we have another standard vintage bath. Vintage tile, standard commode, west-facing window with newer windows so you can open and keep it nice and dry. However, instead of a tub, we have a shower. And there's the shower head with the wand. And I'd say that is about 6 feet high. Nice and clean. The sink is nice and clean. I'm not going to get wet in the shower, but I will show you the hot water here. It's good water pressure, and we've seen that throughout the apartment. Underneath is nice and dry and can be used as storage. Again, it's a nice big cabinet. We have well, the medicine cabinet's a little stuck here. We have to cut up the paint. So it's painted shut along this trim here, which I apologize for. Oops, I better turn this on. But that does open, and there are a couple of shelves inside. There's a light bulb or a light fixture above the mirror, and there is an outlet right next to the medicine cabinet. So as we back out, we see the sink and the commode, get good light from the west exposure window, and there is the shower. So it's really a nice big bedroom with its own bath and great closet space. And if we're looking back, this is actually quite a large room. You probably could get a king-size bed down in that area there. So we'll come out of the second bedroom, walk towards the front door, just give you one last look so you have perspective on the apartment, and then we're back to the front door. Thanks for watching.